Hey everybody, welcome back to X's for Podcast. This is the Daily X, where we bring you news, discussions, and information about your favorite Marvel comics, most notably the X-Men. I'm Nico, and you guys can find me at Nico Action on Twitter and Instagram. That's NicoAction. And today we have an amazing journey through the Marvel Universe. Well, kinda. Spinning out of the pages of Jason Aaron's Avengers is Heroes Reborn, a miniseries reimagining what the Marvel Universe might have been like if Earth's mightiest heroes were replaced by the Squadron Supreme. Now, this miniseries features a number of incredible artists on a number of titles. In this next segment, myself, Nathan, Rod, and Jonah take a look at Heroes Reborn 1 and 2, plus Hyperion and the Imperial Guard. These three issues constituted an incredible entry point into this other universe and made me really challenge what I think about what the Avengers mean to the Marvel Universe proper. We include Easter eggs, backstories, discussion, and history in order to help not just the listener, but Jonah, who has the least experience with the Squadron, catch up. We hope you guys enjoy it just as much as we enjoyed making it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave a review, a like, subscribe, and check out our awesome podcast over at X's for Podcast. Until then, enjoy this next segment. Okay, are we all here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey everybody, and welcome back to X's for Podcast, the show where we take a look at the many adventures of comics' marvelous mutants week after week through their many monthly titles. I'm Nico, and you guys can find me at Nico Action on Twitter and Instagram. That's NicoAction.
Hi, and I'm Rod. You can find me at RODCOMMATHE. I spelled it right. Yay, me! That is on Twitter and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Nathan. You can find me online on Twitter and Instagram at DazzlerAOA.
And I'm Jonah, and you can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at PeakJonah. That's PEAK, and we hope you survive this experience. Unlike most of the Avengers, because they're not really Avengers anymore.
And so let's just pour one out for our guys. When we last saw the Avengers, Jason Aaron was leading them down a dangerous path. Now, the Avengers have been really deeply unsettled the last couple of years, but I think we're moving towards someplace really strong and dynamic, and suddenly we're in the Heroes Reborn world. This whole idea of Heroes Reborn coming out of when there's no Avengers is kind of like an old thing Marvel's done before, but Jason Aaron is giving it new life in the pages of Heroes Reborn, the event crossover. So we're going to be taking a look at Heroes Reborn, numbers 1 and 2 by Jason Aaron. Art on the first issue is by personal favorite Ed McGuinness, while art on the second issue is by the incredibly talented Dale Kwan. However, we're also going to be taking a look at the special one-shot about Hyperion, which has been so important to building this universe. Hyperion and the Imperial Guard was by Ryan Cady, Michelle Bandini, and it also had that amazing Starjammers backup story, which I was obsessed with. Okay, everybody knows what we're talking about now, so now I just need everybody's first reaction. What did you guys think about this first 3-issue opening salvo, 3 of 18?
I absolutely loved it. I really like Jason Aaron's writing in this. It's very cohesive. It's very of the 70s and 80s, like macho American hero. It's just like, I am American and I am of God and I am going to save the White House, and just and it's like, yay, Justice League. No, we're the Squadron Supreme. So it's a really good take on it, and I am excited. I want more of it, honestly, more than 18 issues. We need 100. We need an omnibus of this.
Yeah. I was at first when they announced it, I was like, wait, what? They're gonna redo that 90s piece of trash? And then I was reading it, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? This is so fucking amazing. I need more of this. I just mainline it into me. So yes.
This was very interesting for me because this is my first bout up with a lot of these characters, especially Hyperion, Power Princess, Dr. Spectrum. I almost called
You're
him
a squatty
Nightwing.
newbie.
Yeah, I broke my my squad virgin. And there was a lot of characters to be introduced to, so a lot of opportunities lost.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yes.
yes,
There's be a poppin'.
there's a lot of innocence lost in this miniseries. Now, I have to be honest, I was lured in from the start. One of my favorite things is how much Jason Aaron seems to love writing Blade. It's always really interesting that every Avengers writer kind of glomps onto that one who's their character. And I feel like Jason Aaron has put so much love behind his Blade and his Robbie Reyes that when the whole thing opened on Blade and Robbie Robbie Reyes, I was already sold. I mean, I've been enjoying how much Blade seems to run around the Marvel Universe shouting things like, I'm here to give you your Happy Meal and I'm all out of Mayor McCheese, and like just stabs people. That seems to be Jason Aaron's understanding of Blade. And it kind of works for me. It's the Drac crack that I need. And Robbie Reyes on a bicycle.
Oh my god, yeah.
Robbie
The
Reyes on a
slowest
bicycle.
kid in LA.
It was everything. Now that paradigm, how did you guys feel about it being turned on its head right away?
I appreciated it because I don't feel I like when stories start like in the middle, you know, and then we slowly get tuned into it. I don't need this like I mean, some stories like Secret Wars is good to be like introduced in the beginning and shown the whole process. But I feel like a short event like this that's this kind of like alternate dimension doesn't probably not gonna have that much of effect to it outside of this whole thing, maybe. I don't know. I think it's good in that kind of way that you can just be like, hey, let's introduce in the middle of it. Let's keep going. Let's just show them all kinds of crazy shit. And I love, like you said, with Blade. Blade is such a character we don't get a lot of. And I love Jason Aaron that he's putting him in the forefront. I need him in more things. And I'm glad that he's the person that's getting a little ahead of myself, but the person that's getting the Avengers back together. That is awesome.
Yeah. Like the fact that Blade is central and he's not this cheesy, campy, like, oh, I'm gonna go stag Dracula kind of guy. Like, it's a fucking amazing.
I think my favorite bout out of everything that came up was the chimera results of what would happen if you chose two random Marvel villains and you decided to just mash them together, and it was really I say this hesitantly. I kind of wanted more in the sense of, well, I want to see that happen with the heroes now. I want like mash them together. Like overall, it was a lot of fun.
Marvel has loved crossing characters together, like the Infinity Warps, right?
Mhm.
They've been doing this for like a hot minute. I personally think Dr. Juggernaut is like,
The
I need a
best.
Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure of Dr. Juggernaut last wave because I'm obsessed with him.
Okay, Dr. Jugs is like if somebody gave Dr. Doom like a magical black cat that like gave him a magical gem and was like, "Here you go," and he's like, "By the power of Jugs, I will punish you." And that's exactly.
Oh,
what I
good,
was
because
thinking.
for a second I was like, where the fuck is the black cat coming from? Like, why is somebody
Yeah, no,
like,
she's not in this issue.
right? He's like,
I wonder what Felicia is doing now that she didn't have Spider-Man to pine after.
Oh,
Right?
well, but
Where is
Spider-Man,
she?
Spider-Man represented that really beautiful synergy, like that way that he's like, I'm a shutterbug, I'm right here, Mr. Milton. Well, you know, I'm right here, Mr.
Okay,
Hyperion.
Jimmy Olsen.
Right?
It's Jimmy
Pretty
Olsen.
much. Rod, did any of like the super, like an italicized super, like the what was it, Venom Skull? What was he, the Black Skull? Did any of those characters really like lock it in for you?
I mean, I'm probably on the lower side of this opinion, but I really like the Quick Scarlet Witch. What is she called? Oh my gosh. Quick Scarlet? I think so. But I like that character.
Yes.
I'm like, I want fast magic. Like, I always kind of wanted their powers together. I feel like that'd be really cool. And how do you, it's already hard enough to beat a speedster, but to beat a speedster that can also like shoot 1,000 spells like a second, that's insane. And I love that concept. It doesn't make any kind of sense, but it's fun.
Oh, Marvel does that. Marvel does that though. Like they like put like Lorna Dane and Zaladane, and they're like, you're gonna combine your powers. And like the one cool thing about the Scarlet, whatever she is like she's a mutant. Like, did you guys notice that she's a mutant?
Yes, she's rightfully a mutant.
And I think that's one of the things that I love about this. It's
Silver Witch.
Silver Witch.
Thank you.
Silver Witch.
I was thinking I was that because I was like, it would, I guess, just make the most sense if she was silver instead of scarlet.
Yeah,
but like,
that's true.
She's not wearing any silver. She got a little bit on.
Yeah.
Maybe the silver is in her speed.
There you go. Yeah. Kind of with Quicksilver. I mean, he doesn't really wear that much silver either. It's like white and blue.
Yeah, he's a blue boy.
Yeah.
Now, I think, this inroad with the Scarlet Witch, one of the things that I loved the most about this miniseries is I feel like every time we see an iteration of, what if the Avengers were different? It's always some sort of like slightly different thing. Maybe Tony Stark doesn't have a robo suit, but like this is a completely different iteration of the Avengers where the Squadron are supreme. And I think one of the things that's most interesting is is the bad guy Avengers are still bad guys. Like, not just because I love my precious Baron Zemo. I do love me a bad guy that hates Nazis as much as I do. But I really like that those characters wouldn't have reformed if it weren't for the Avengers. So yeah, they should be a team. How did you guys feel about, problematic-ish, a little bit Russian and a little bit red, super commies?
Yeah, the problematic super commies was a little like,
But I
oh,
love them.
what?
But I love them.
I was like, oh, she's immune. Oh, crap. She's not good. No.
It was definitely it was a take they needed to do because they made the Squadron Supreme the American heroes. So it's like, what is the opposite of America? It's communism. So apparently. So
yeah.
so I mean, that's what their heroes are going to be. They're going to be communists, and they're going to be trying to battle everybody. And I just love that they made the Nighthawk character, the Batman, fight the Red Skull character. I was like, why would he battle? He's not going to beat him. But,
Sometimes I'm like world's greatest detective, more like guy with the most gadgets. And like, I literally mean that. Like, there's times I'm like, no, you didn't solve that. You had a small computer and it solved it. Stop
yeah,
cheating.
exactly.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else with that small computer.
Oh, you looked down and you saw that there were footprints. Anybody could have done that.
Right?
You're not special.
Yeah.
Now, Jonah, did you find any of these reiterations of characters you were familiar with special? Were any of these characters like, oh shit?
The one that stuck out to me, she didn't really get a lot of panel time, so it just speaks to my volume of I see a very powerful woman. I'm like, show me her, Power Princess, because I would have been like, yeah, she's cool. Okay, I get it. Like, she's Wonder Woman, but like, not exactly. And she's from Utopia, so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, I'm down with this. That's how, as far as heroes go, from the Supremes. What are they called?
The Squadron Supreme.
The Squadron Supreme, not the Supreme. That's Diana Ross.
Hyperion Ross and the Supremes is the
You're
greatest
welcome.
thing.
You're welcome.
Young Jonah.
At least I know who the Supremes are.
That is a good point.
Yes, but out of all of them, I think it's more so because I literally know nothing about them, and I know a little bit about Hyperion. Nico's described to him as me as, what if Superman was super cocky and evil? And I was like, you know what? I'd love to see a character like that. So I'm down to see what the fuck is going on up here on this day, because I will say Hyperion is acting high-key suspicious
Oh, yeah.
about
High
everything.
high key
High-key
suspicious.
suspicious. Um,
He's like the opposite of don't be suspicious. Yeah.
He's the opposite of don't
but
be
I'm
suspicious.
so fascinated because this entire world of 177A isn't just a little thing, as Nico said. It's the Avengers were never formed because they never went to go find Steve, and Steve was been missing for years upon years. So I think there are so many effects that this has on the entirety of the world. It's a very interesting butterfly effect that I would love to see explored. So I'm happy to be able to read this and be a part of it.
And, it actually kind of correlates back to something I know Rod and I share an affinity for, and something I know, Nathan, you're really interested to read more of. And Jonah, you're such a good sport when I don't shut up about it. But Jason Aaron's Thor is his masterwork. Fine. Know me, whatever. So Jason Thor's Aaron work. Good night. Jason Aaron's Thor is his masterwork. And so, this idea that he kind of sacrificed Thor right off the bat was so interesting that he decided, you know what? I don't need Thor to tell my story. Thor can be a drunken louse, and that works for me. I know Jason Aaron for his Thor. How did you guys feel about seeing a guy so synonymous with a specific character hand wave the character away? I guess he also backhanded him.
I think it was necessary because we've seen Jason Aaron with Thor for 5 years before, and we don't need it. We know his Thor. You know, we don't need to see him write those characters that character anymore. We need to see him, you know, write the Blades, write the Robbie Reyeses, write all the other people that are in this, write the Squadron Supremes, and even Coulson for like a hot second. He keeps appearing in and out, just like a weird demon. Like, so I really appreciated it that he's not just like not making himself like a one-trick pony in that sense.
And I love that you mentioned Coulson, because Coulson and Mephisto have had a thing going since Avengers for a while now. So I don't know anybody who's been reading the monthly Avengers, or weekly at times Avengers, right? But Coulson made a deal with Mephisto at one point, and
it backfired.
Right?
Well, that's what we call a Faustian bargain.
Right?
Oh, and it is crazy because they're always praising Mephisto in this story.
So I am wondering the part Coulson plays. Now, Nathan, have you been following Coulson in the Marvel Universe, or are you more of a Marvel Cinematic Coulson Shield TV? Because I'm going to be honest, I quit Shield. I couldn't do it. And all of a sudden I come back and Coulson's like a motherfucker in the comics. And I'm like, shit, what did I miss? So, like, Nathan, have you been following that?
Yeah, no, Coulson's got me a little lost. I'm like, I catch a little of it here and there. Yeah, when he shows up in the movies, I didn't watch Shield. It lost my interest a lot, and
I watched all of Shield.
I knew I could ask Rod. That's why I had to ask someone else first, because I knew Rod would have the answer. So I had to do the soft pivot so that I could get to the real answer. I know what I'm doing.
I'm like, Maria Hill? Yeah, talk about Maria Hill.
Let's go to the mall.
Yes.
I watch and read too much
You'll
shit.
be
Sorry.
So how did Coulson get to be so bitter?
Well, I mean, he died.
Right.
Yeah, Deadpool killed him. That wasn't a fake out. Deadpool legit killed him. Right. And he was dead, and then he miraculously showed up in Avengers, and then Mephisto was there. And we're like, oh, so, because everyone was like, yay, Coulson is back. And it's like, oh, wait, Coulson is evil. Oh, no.
Oh,
Because, like, no one wanted that. And I'm okay with it now. At first I was like, no, because it's Coulson and he's like so awesome and I don't want him to be evil, but he makes the perfect person to be evil because he's a good strategist. He's basically Nick Fury and Maria Hill put together in a sense, because he was with both of them. So he's learned from the best. So I was happy with at least that he's back, that we didn't just forget about like a good character like that.
Like Maria Hill.
Oh, right. Ugh. Or like Ross Solomon.
He did stay dead in the Shield TV show though. He did. Like he got brought back, and then he was a robot, and then but then he stayed dead. Yeah, because he had. Like,
did everybody know the Shield agent was a robot?
No. Was he a life model decoy though?
Oh,
they did make him after he died of space cancer. They made him a life model decoy because they needed his help again. It's a lot. It's a lot. Shield was a lot. It was a lot.
Listen, we love a TV show that's so wild and extra.
Yeah.
But wow, now Jonah, was this a shock for you, going from like adorable Coulson to Coulson?
I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to keep it real 100 with you. I had no idea who this guy was.
No, bad Jonah, bad. That's.
I was like, why are they focusing? Like, I knew he was important because they bolded his name, and I was like, okay, he's got to be vital in some way. I have no idea who this character is.
It's Coulson. You at least watched the Avengers movies, so right? Like,
it's been a hot minute. Yes, I've seen all of the MCU stuff.
Okay, that's okay.
Rod's like, it's fine.
It's fine.
Listen, I keep it in either girl groups or comic information. Sometimes it overlaps. Not all of it stays in.
It's fine. I don't know some people that y'all know, so it's okay.
Now, let's talk about people we know and the ways in which they are fucked up. Number 1, Hulk. Negative Zone, bad story. Number 2, Johnny Storm in a Nova outfit. Good story, right? Woof, what a good use of him. So here's my question. I think I love sympathetic Hulk the most, right? I don't really have a need for like generic Reed or like adorable Peter or whatever, or drunk Thor is fine, I guess, but like I'm really in it for like Brood Gladiator and Crazy Hulk. Did any of these characters, these sort of like sad, heartbroken iterations really affect you?
Okay, the Imperial Guard, like, oh my god, when they all get turned into brutes, I was like, oh, I was like, how dare you do that to Cosmic Boy and Saturn Girl?
Yeah, that Hyperion story broke my little heart. It actually made me like Hyperion, and then he was in that
I
relationship,
know.
and I was like, oh, he's a good person. He's not all bad, and he's in love. And then they're like, no,
I
we're
know.
done with that.
And we got gay alien space. Like I was like,
Oh yeah, we got gay in space, and then they died too.
and then they die.
It was an immediate bury your gaze.
I know.
It was an immediate
It's like,
bury
here's
your
a gay.
gaze.
Bam.
Well, and here was the thing that I think made it the most shocking for me was that they had been in the background of one of the panels of the main miniseries before appearing in the Hyperion
Yeah.
one shot. And everything about the Hyperion one shot worked really well. Like I kind of, when Omnibuy are collected and the mid-quill issues still go afterwards, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But like here, I almost wish you could freeze the ongoing mini and just flip into that one shot and
Yeah.
get to experience, because they purposely put it in an anachronistic number. They said that Starjammers was coming summer 92. Like
Yeah.
they did such a beautiful job, and putting it out, I think they called it issue 121, which
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
in the letter page. It wasn't supposed to be that issue too. It was like extra issue that like I love the amalgam type leather pages. I was like, oh my
Yes.
god, I'm reading all of this. I was like, yes.
it just felt so good. And that issue, it felt like just like right around the right time for the X-Men to be dealing with the Shi'ar, and like it just made me so happy. And I love that who Gladiator is, because like I'm like an oddly big Prince Kubark fan. I really love Kid Gladiator. I like Gladiator, but I love Kid Gladiator. Kid Gladiator only works because Gladiator is such a good guy, right?
Okay.
Like it's kind of like Kid Gladiator is the Thor to Gladiator's Odin, and I sort of love how exhausting he is for his father. So I've learned to love his dad by loving Kubark, right? So it was just kind of sad to see a Gladiator who felt like he could not defend his empire. It was like that one page of New X-Men for like an entire issue. It was the right kind of heartbreaking on Ryan Katie's part.
Yeah. So, like, was this the event? Did this turn Hyperion from what we saw there? Like, did the death of the Imperial Guard turn him into the jackass that he is now? Like, that's where I'm like trying to figure out, because I'm like, oh my god, he's so sweet and lovable, and he loves Oracle, and like, oh, they're gonna be happy. Oh fuck.
I guess like everybody's got to have their Hank Pym moment. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to have that dramatic turn instant. Now,
Henry Pym.
Okay. Talking about Hank Pym though, when they described him as a good husband, I was like, what the
Good husband,
I
devout
know.
Christian,
Yes,
good American.
I know. I was like,
I was like,
So you're saying the Avengers made him abusive? Huh.
no, I think what it is
Kang did that though.
is
Kang did that.
yeah. I think what it is though that they don't care really about the abuse, because like the Squadron Supreme is supposed to be the stereotypical all-American, very religious type of subgroup that's in the country. So they might not really care, like, oh, he's just, helping his wife. So he's just being a good husband because he's bringing home the paycheck and she has a house.
She has a house
No, well,
and a kitchen.
In a kitchen.
Black eye.
Oh, God.
and
choose to leave the house in.
there's something incredible about what you just captured in that statement, Rod, because, Jonah was reading the issue next to me in bed, and he literally read aloud a sentence that I must have read to myself 15 times. Your super neck muscles flexed open my hand. And I was like, I know what Aaron's going for. This ain't it. And like it made me laugh in a good way. It was a little tongue in cheek. It was a little playful and a little funny. I'm an enormous Jason Aaron fan, so I get he has a very specific sense of humor. And I wonder how much of that really is, this is sort of like what if the WWF in the 1980s ran the Avengers. This is
Yes.
such a comical, over the top, oh, the bad guys go in forever jail and the good guys get to just be famous. And he's a school teacher. Like, he's not even a believable, could run out and do shit kind of guy, right? Like he's
Yeah.
not a reporter where he's just on the street. He's a fucking teacher.
He's got kids he's teaching. He just made
I
them
know.
breed.
He's like, I'll be right back, kids. I have to go save the world. He just leaves. I'm like, what is happening?
So he's
No, too,
endangering
it's like-
the kids, just leaving. I think you're right. I think if there was actual allegations of abuse lodged by Janet Van Dyne, it would be very, oh, honey, he didn't mean to do that. And like,
Oh yeah.
wow, yeah.
Honey, what did you say that made him hate you?
Oh god.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they would say.
And
I mean,
that's
that's what a lot of men said at that time to women. So
and unfortunately still do. And I think if the characters here aren't saying something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, there is really an anachronistic sense of cosmic unfairness to a lot of what's going on here. There really does feel like a dangerous silence. How do you guys feel about this almost humorous pretense that it really still is the 90s and that shit still flies?
Well, one of the things I was thinking when I saw Thor, I was like, huh, is Thor like Hercules in that all parallel versions of him are the same? And I wonder if this Thor is just upset over things. So that was something that was crossing my mind. But I look at, from what we know, the three characters, I guess, who got the most cosmic injustice between Blade, Captain America, and Thor. It makes me wonder, like, what in particular about these three characters made them deserve to go through this kind of dystopian parallel universe that's like a hellish for the Avengers. And I was really interested with trying to figure out what Jason Aaron's motive was of choosing these three characters, because there were like a lot of other characters that were like named, like Namor or the Winter Soldier and his commie Widow Guard. And I think, like, well, why not them? Why wasn't it like a Natasha? Why wasn't it a Wanda? Well, what about these three characters makes them special enough that they deserve to either go through this but also overcome it?
Ooh, overcoming it. Yeah, the argument of growth. I mean, I almost want to say something glib, which is, well, Empire was Reed and Tony's story, and King in Black was Eddie Brock's story. I mean, other people were in it, but it was Eddie Brock's story, just straight up. So it kind of makes me say it was their cyclical turn, but at the same time, they are characters who are defined by worthiness. You know, Tony is determined by whether or not he drinks or whether or not he is cruel. But Steven, I almost said Steven, other Steve.
I thought you were to say Steven Universe.
No, I was like, well, they're both named Chris, so they're both named Steve. So Steve and other Steve, no, God. So Steve and Odinson are both defined by their worthiness in a lot of ways. And that's just a really fascinating parallel. As somebody who's, well, as two somebodies who's read both somebodies, how do you guys feel about Jonah's question? What makes these three, I mean, Blade's the mouthpiece, but like what makes these three special?
Well, I think first I want to do Thor and Captain America. So Thor, he's the one that wasn't affected except for, you know, just being a drunk, because Scarlet Witch is affected and she's with like the communists. Carol never got powered. Black
Jen's
Widow,
still a lawyer.
Jen's still a lawyer, didn't get, you know, the Hulkness. And then isn't Black Widow part of one of the evil communist people too? So
Carol is not even a captain. She's just insubordinate grunt.
Natasha became Widow Guard with Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so Blade, I don't know. So Blade was like, who else do I got? You know, Thor is there. Thor's also a god. He's a heavy hitter. So he's like, I can maybe convince him to. Thor's not the smartest, so you can convince him maybe. And he's smart in some points. At some points he's not. Some points he's not. And then Captain America is all the America, and people listen to Captain America, and he's the reason the Avengers got started. So he's the center point of this whole story because it's about the Avengers never being started. So what do you do to get everything started? You get the focal point, which is Captain America. Now, the reason why Blade is picked, I don't know. I think Blade is really picked because Jason Aaron was like, well, who can I pick that doesn't get affected but isn't like as powerful as like Carol or Thor? Well, it's Blade. And why he wasn't affected?
Robbie's too powerful too.
Robbie's too powerful too. Yeah, like he's like he can do so many things. Yeah,
he controlled that celestial
so
like a
who
car.
Do I get someone that's, you know, has power but is still like lower base, and that's Blade. Now, why didn't Blade get affected? Shit if I know.
I love how when he meets up with Nighthawk, it's like it's very much like, what the fuck are you doing here, Blade? You're just some like low level like fucking like scumbag.
Daywalker.
Like yeah, like why are you
Which
here?
that is not what he thinks that means. That is not a term that he. Nope.
Nope, it's not good.
I think it means afternoon prostitute. If you're a night
Ah.
walker, day walker, I'm just saying, clunk.
That would be a good name for that.
Like a Nightcrawler day tripper, I guess.
So
There you go.
here's my question for you guys, especially because we've touched on a lot of what we wanted to talk about, but I specifically have a really kind of cutting question. When Marvel makes these kind of crossover initiatives, there's three kinds, in my opinion, right? And what do I know? But there are the ones that exist to shake up status quo, which is Original Sin, where they reveal a bunch of shit all at once and just deal with it. Which is also the same as Hoxpox. They revealed a bunch of shit all at once and just kind of deal with it, okay? Then there's the AUs. So there's House of M, followed by, not followed by, but also the Infinity Warps. And there's
Age of X-Men.
Age of X-Man.
Age of Apocalypse.
Age of Apocalypse. A lot of ages. There's one that I'm blanking on that like just happened. Age of Ultron. Ah, they're all ages!
Oh God, yeah. They're all ages.
So,
yeah.
That was interesting.
What makes you care when they come back? What sells you on the value of it? When we came back from House of M, that was the thing that made Carol believe she could be Captain Marvel. And she made the decision to be that Captain Marvel, right? Her better self. I don't want Blade to get Carol's hand-me-down story because Carol had it beautifully. Blade deserves his own story. What can we hope for from this? I guess this could maybe give us the Squadron in a way that MC unifies, right? But other than an inroad for the Squadron and cute new Marvel Legends figures, I can't figure out the why yet. What do you guys think about the why of this?
I think the why for it is we finally get the answer of what Mephisto's planning. Because he brought Coulson back for a reason. I guess this was it.
And they just did that Mephisto omnibus. Fuck!
Yeah, so it's gonna be Jason Aaron has been building this Mephisto thing with like Moon Knight and all that stuff. Mephisto's been around doing some stuff, and even in Champions like a while back when he like fucked with them. So
well, and his hands are all over this too because they're like praising Mephisto.
Yeah,
praising the devil.
Yeah, he's the unseen CEO of this whole corporation thing. And I do think that since Blade is like the kind of the head of it, at least the first issue, I do think after all this he'll kind of see himself as more of an Avenger, like worthy of being an Avenger, I guess, because he kind of, even like a few of the last issues, he was like, I shouldn't be here, and Black Panther's like, nah, you got to stay here. And so maybe he'll finally be like, oh, well, I guess I can be an Avenger. Maybe I shouldn't be a lone wolf anymore.
I would love for this story to fuck shit up like Age of Apocalypse did, where you get out of Age of Apocalypse, there was some stuff that happened in the past, and like, oh my god, Dark Beast created the Morlocks, like Sugar Man was in charge of Genosha, whatever. I can't even say the word, but yeah, their hands were all over everything.
And that argument you made about Mephisto's hands being all over everything, I guess I hadn't thought about it quite this way, but the first arc of Avengers is about a celestial takeover. The second arc of the Avengers is about an Atlantean takeover. The third arc of the Avengers is about the 9 realms collapsing in onto the 10th realm because of Malekith. We have the attack of the Ghost Riders. We have the Age of Khonshu. We have Enter the Phoenix. It actually does seem like the Avengers is constantly placing the Avengers in the trust of a single identity, and we know that right after this we're getting World War She-Hulk. So I guess I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, it does feel perhaps like this is an opportunity to reset the status quo around the previous 50 issues. And this has been so much fun because I came in here with questions and everybody's making me think brains. Now, I will mention there's some people that we haven't seen yet. And for as excited as I am to see the Blur, and as excited as I am for Dr. Spectrum and Nighthawk and
Power Princess
and Hyperion, I do find myself a little sad at the dearth of some of the characters, right? I love the Imperial Guard, and I know that we're getting a Magneto special. I'm so sorry, guys, but I do know that Weapon X is going to be a special toward the end of the tenure, so I'm pretty excited excited, but I know it's more.
Aurora's got a bat. She's got a Negan bat. She's fucking shit up.
I am.
Oh wait, what was it? It's not Alpha Flight. First Flight.
Yeah. So
First flight, yeah.
I am very excited about that. But, like, the last time Jason Aaron helmed an event, Daredevil was turned into a god. And as a thank you for his kind work helping Heimdall save reality, Heimdall carved him 2 billy clubs from the original world tree so that he would always remember that he's welcome with the gods. Where the fuck is Daredevil now? So, who do y'all think is missing?
I know Daredevil might show up in the Luke Cage tie-in thing that he's he's like a federal agent or something. So Daredevil might show up in that. He might not now. He might only be a lawyer.
Which I'd be fine with.
I wonder what the Phoenix is doing.
Well, we know that the Shi'ar wanted to go after the Phoenix at the end of Starjammers #1.
Well,
That's true.
Lilandra wanted to go after it
Yeah.
to usurp her throne from her mad brother, which is all still, in line with what normally happens. But the Shi'ar are afraid of the Phoenix Force.
We had a chance to have a good guy Deathbird, and we blew it, guys.
I wanted Deathbird to be Lilandra.
We collectively blew it. I love Deathbird way too much.
Okay, I have a serious question. How is Johnny Storm that much older than Cyclops and Havoc?
How is Johnny Storm that fucking hot?
Oh my
How
god, yeah, too.
because like blonde pretty boy doesn't do it for me.
See, I felt Johnny Storm was kind of hot to me. I might have some weird things in my head because I found Thor and Hyperion the hottest. I judged myself harshly for finding Hyperion hot because he's not a good person.
But he's so yummy.
Trash.
If you want someone who literally looks exactly like him but is actually a good character, Quasar.
Quasar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quasar. So cute.
Quasar is a good character. That's right. He's in Guardians right now. He's a good character.
And yeah, I do get what you're saying. I also thought Cyclops was uncomfortably hot. I thought he was Vulcan, but he was Cyclops.
I always have this weird thing with Havoc where I think he's cute, but I was like, he's not as hot as he usually is. But he's 17 too, so.
Havoc is hot, but in like a I wish he would shower after gym class way.
Yeah. Oh,
Havoc is hot in the Goblin Prince look, but like maybe that's just where my mind always goes.
You know who's missing? Because we're not talking about this issue, but Storm is missing.
No, for real.
I think,
yeah.
My theory, because this hasn't come out yet, so none of us know, that when we get the Wakanda tie-in, I think she is going to be in Wakanda. Because I don't think, because obviously, Xavier never got her and like never pulled her into the fold and everything, so she stayed in Africa.
Colonizer never colonized her.
Never colonized, so she's in Wakanda, I feel like.
Amal Farouk has to have her.
No.
Oh, wait.
No. If Xavier never gets her, it's Amal Farouk. I'm sorry.
No.
Wait, does that mean Thunderbird's alive?
Oh, wow. We could have an entire,
Thunderbird would be cool. Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine an entire Proud Star family? And, maybe they even, married people and had kids, and now they have super kids, and that would be so cute.
See, that would be the second Proud Family reboot I would watch.
It's better than hooking him up with one of the Stepford Cuckoos. Yeah, that was an interesting story.
We don't talk about that.
Actually, I would love to know where the Hellfire Club is. Because they played a really large role in a lot of events that's happened, not just to Mutantdom, but
history.
There's a lot of history and prominence with the Hellfire Club, so what the fuck are they doing?
And where's Apocalypse in all this? Do you think Apocalypse sat around while Hyperion became the most powerful motherfucker on the planet?
Exactly.
Right? And you don't think Sinister has tried to get his hands on Hyperion DNA and was like, oh, look, I found some Hyperion DNA. Where's Jean?
Ooh, look at this cape. Look at this cape. Can you wear the cape?
I think Jean is deceased because I think Mephisto was...
Nico has left the building.
Oh no, Nico!
I was talking about this with my fiance Juan earlier. I think Jean is deceased because Mephisto was like, no, she is too much trouble. We are not having her gain the Phoenix Force ever in this reality. We're just gonna poof, she's gone. We're gonna kill her off.
I would love that because then it would make even more sense that the Phoenix chose Echo. Because, like,
Mhm.
not like Mephisto isn't all-knowing, but, like, the Phoenix would need some way to sneak into this world
Yeah.
without Mephisto getting I love that.
Where's Dazzler? I'm just kidding.
Dazzler finished law school and now practices law with her father.
No, she's partnered with Jen Walters. She's partnered with Jen Walters.
Oh, I
now.
would love that.
Yeah,
That would
right.
be cool.
Now, here's the big question going forward. We have 3 out of 18 issues covered. We have 15 more issues to experience the present, the past, and come home to our future. If you have one big thing you want to see happen, like one moment that you're looking for, what would it be? I think for me, it is specifically a little weird, but I would love to see Thor be like, I'm ready to be Thor now, and go to get Mjolnir, and Hyperion just pick it up and be like, nah, son.
He's not worthy though. He is so not worthy.
In that
But-
reality, he might be.
Because what is this reality and what rules has Mephisto placed on it? If you can't change the outcome, change what the outcome means. He can't change how this is all going to go, but he can change how things work together as we get there.
Yeah, that is very true. Mephisto's a crafty bitch.
Yeah, he is.
So
Yeah, she's as great at the drag on a dime challenges.
What else do you guys want to see happen?
I want to see happen is Wakanda coming back from wherever it is and kicking the shit out of Supreme Squadron. Could not get that word right. But I want them to do something to them, like depower Hyperion or something to that effect. Because I feel like whenever like an event kind of happens, Wakanda's kind of like just in the background, and I want them to be more like boosh. Because I feel like Mephisto wouldn't really think of Wakanda either, and also the Panther gods kind of protect Wakanda from Mephisto. So
And doesn't Wakanda have war witches? Like, don't they have
Yeah.
their own, like, war magic witches? Like, people who specifically work to protect the ancient arts and...
yeah, they do. Yeah, so I mean, they're probably protected.
Yeah.
My guess would be Mephisto is banking on, if this is like an America that's only focusing on America, and this is like we're thinking like 1950s America where everybody thinks they're the greatest thing, and it's all McCarthyism of who's a commie, who's not. I imagine he's banking on that nobody ever wanting to go to see if the myth was actually real.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there wouldn't have been the same sense of global acceptance that the Avengers helped forge if it was actually an American unit. And I think you're really right, Rod. I feel like the last 10 crossovers, they just sort of pull out Wakanda like a big gun at the end. Like, it's
Yeah.
not a country full of heroes and people beyond being the big gun when you need it. You know, they deserve better than to be the Vibranium forge.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do.
Okay, I want to see something that I'll never see, but I just want to see it. I want to see the unholy alliance between Destiny and Moira McTaggart. But I know that'll never happen.
Oh, can they be in a polyamorous relationship with Raven?
No!
How
What
would-
do you mean?
No.
I don't think that would happen in this I don't know.
No, I know. No, but
That makes my brain hurt. It makes my brain hurt thinking about how that could be possible in this reality. Not the polyamorous thing, just Moira being there with Destiny.
Yeah!
It makes my brain hurt.
Right. Don't think about Age of Apocalypse and what Moira was doing then. So like ever. Don't ever.
Fine,
think
she's
about
actually the Sugar Man. She's wearing a Sugar Man suit the whole time with the little arms.
Bringing a whole new meaning to Sugar Baby. What I would love to see Robbie become Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I would love to see that transformation. I would love to maybe see Carol maybe become a captain. She doesn't have to be. Well, I guess that means she never met Wolverine because they never would have met in the Air Force.
Yeah, there's so many amazing
Oh,
stories
yeah,
that
where is Wolverine?
I really want
He's still in Canada. It's part of the. I don't know if it's in every issue, but at least on the digital one that I read, there were some character sheets for First Flight, and that's where Wolverine is that he still was part of the Weapon X program, but it's a lot bionic is the best way I can describe it.
so damn bionic.
Yeah.
I would love to know where Snowbird is.
Ooh.
She's a
I
goddess.
do love me some Snowbird. So maybe she might have been kept out.
I want Monica Rambeau to somehow save the day, but that will never happen either.
Yeah,
But
where's Monica?
Where's
Yeah.
Monica? You know, she's, you know, when you think about
I have that
Avengers
all the time,
powerhouses from the 1980s, it's like Monica. She's
And Blue Marvel.
Where's Blue Marvel, who was totally outside
Yeah.
of all this? Where's Nick Fury, who was already serving in the trenches?
Where's Ulysses Bloodstone?
Where's Ulysses
Where's Elsa?
Bloodstone? Guys, I do have a question. If Boom Boom doesn't have her own trashy reality show in this reality, where
Oh,
she's just a ditz with a camera, and I feel like
Yeah.
Boom Boom would have one of those because
she would.
she would have like bought a bottle of liquor and went to drink it, but accidentally like swallowed a piece of glass and sued the
Oh, no.
company and become like a liquor heiress, and now she's got, you know, Boom Boom's badass well liquors, and
And then she goes and does her reality show is filmed in Greece, and like it's just a bunch of people in bikinis.
hey guys, I'm in Mykonos with my friend Mykonos.
So Boom Boom is Paris Hilton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of mix of like Paris Hilton and Lilo.
Wouldn't it make more sense for Dazzler to be Paris Hilton?
I want better
Wait,
for Dazzler.
Whoa. I mean, Paris is good. I like Paris in her own way, but no.
I'm sure. Okay.
We're gonna side
Just
ride.
finish your law degree.
She fits the profile. I'm just saying.
No, she is a Supreme Court justice in this weird America.
I love that we went from practicing law to
Sure.
Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, I just need to
I know,
double check.
she's-
Did you just call her Ruth Bader Dasberg? Because that's what I heard.
Oh my god.
The notorious
I mean,
RPD.
Dazzler is supposed to become she's supposed to become a president in one reality. So I guess so.
But yeah, but like, you know, also her big crossroads story was right. Does she follow her father's footstep and become a lawyer? Does she like be a pop star? Does she be a superhero?
Where's the Dazzler
Or does she be
musical?
homeless? Because that was one of her options.
Well, and you know, I kind of like the question that you're posing, and I mean, we're being ridiculous, but it's not too much of a stretch to assume that what we know about Carter Blair, he would have tried to position himself to get in good with a reestablishing of sort of like a core American values. He was a very conservative, wealthy lawyer. I could reasonably see the Blair family having become attached to this American super society, especially if Dazzler was going to be a mutant anyway. She would have wanted to have herself in a safe, protected space. So, like, I could see, not Supreme Court Justice, I could see, like,
Lawyer.
rich lawyer, Senator Lady Dazzler.
Ooh.
First Lady Dazzler.
Oh, not Phil Coulson. Ew.
Sure. She's not Paris Hilton in Greece. That's sure.
Well,
I still think that's Boom Boom. That's up Boom Boom's alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
also
hey,
they're kinda
this is a
trashing the-
family show, and we do not talk about Boom Boom's Alley here, or what may
a-
be up it or not.
Wait,
This is a family show for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. But no, it actually makes sense because I feel like not Dazzler. Pitch a reality show because she was I believe it's her dad's in like the and like the CIA or it's like a secret agent and trained her. That's why she's so proficient in hand-to-hand combat. So like, I'm pretty sure she could easily sell a show about that.
I'm in Mykonos. Chop chop.
I want to say that I am pleasantly surprised by how Heroes Reborn. I didn't read the first Heroes Reborn. I know everyone hated it. Especially Nathan. But I was pleasantly surprised. I know Jason Aaron is a good writer, but I came in cautious. I love events though, but I still came in cautious, and I love it. So I'm ready for more.
On air, it just hit me that Rocket, he's not a raccoon, Red Panda, Rocket Red Panda, and Groot were not original Starjammers.
No. Oh my god, no. Yes, that's amazing.
that just hit me because my bone, it's a very small bone, is that Hepzibah looks like a sexy fantasy like race, and I don't like it.
I have to be like, no,
why?
she's still a
I like that she
skunk.
looks
Look at
more
the
like
ear.
an animal, not
And-
not like I'm a sexy skunk. Like that's the race I want to be, a sexy skunk. Like no,
Hi guys, I'm a sexy
I mean it's
skunk.
fine.
Hi.
It was
I
good
love-
for the furries.
I love the Summers family being like a family and like not having to
I
deal
I guess I guess
with
fuck the original Mrs. Summers. Fuck her drag, right?
Yeah,
She's
where did she? Because where did she
Okay.
go?
She's still dead, I guess.
Oh, that sucks for her. Poor her.
Yeah.
What? Maybe she's like, oh, maybe she's with Emperor Dekin.
Yeah, that's possible.
Hey guys, if you like that cut from X's4 Podcast, you'll be sure to like some of our other materials. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out these other amazing videos here at X's4 Podcast.